Mr. John Sandbrook to come up and join me here. We're honoring John today for stepping up and taking over as interim CAO, Coliseum Commission, at its greatest time of need. A longtime administrator at UCLA and a former chief of staff to the president of the University of California, John agreed to leave his comfortable retirement to restore integrity in the management and preservation of the icon, which is the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum and the sports arena, where he had once sold tickets as a kid. He had some great memories. Now, if you're familiar with any of the news reports on the Coliseum over the last couple of years, then you know that John had no easy task. One made even harder by some in the media who were a tad tough on him in their reporting as the prior management team was running the Coliseum. One only need to consider their source to know why this was so. And it goes on, but enough said about that. But despite the many slings and arrows directed at him, John's personal integrity never wavered. He faithfully, devotedly, and legally acted in the best interest of the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum and the public at all times. Thanks to his experience, knowledge, and skills, including long emails, John's efforts brought together the state of California, the county of Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, the University of Southern California, and all their varying personalities and divergent interests to agree on a plan that ultimately saved the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum for future generations. Having done so, John is now retired for a second time. While we will miss his penchant for keeping us informed at all hours of the day or night, but we asked John to be here today. He didn't want a lot of accolades, but I know I speak, and I know Zell will have some comments too, but we wanted to publicly recognize and thank him for his great work on behalf of that icon here in Los Angeles, the state, and the nation. A great job, a gentleman for the right time at the right place, and we truly appreciated all his efforts, not only to make it survive and put the whole deal together, but all the unscrupulous attacks by those in the media who felt that they wanted to do that, and that's the right to do that. But John stood firm, made it happen. We're proud of him, and we want to publicly thank you. Thank you, John.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to add a couple of words of my own. John and I go back a long way. We were classmates together at UCLA. He was the sports editor at the Daily Bruin. Of course, he couldn't write lengthy articles in the Daily Bruin because the editors wouldn't allow him to do that, but over at the Coliseum, he had no editors. In all seriousness, John came into a horrible situation. And the only way I can describe this, as someone once described the complicated situation, is he was called upon to change the system of driving on one side of the road to driving on the other side of the road simultaneously while people were still driving. Imagine trying to do that. The first thing he had to do when he got in is found out that the new video board on the west end of the Coliseum was not synchronized with the video wasn't synchronized with the sound, and the game, the opening game of the season was 5 days or a week away, and that was kind of the symbolic of what he was going, or a foreshadowing of what was going to come for the rest of his tenure at the Coliseum. He did a great job, not just in putting the deal together. That's been spoken to by Don, but he had to run the Coliseum. There was a football team that had to play its games there 2 seasons. The UCLA basketball team was playing at the sports arena 1 season while they were redoing Pauley Pavilion. A lot of special events, a lot of this and that. So he had to run the place while also trying to structure a deal that would save it for future generations. And I really think we had the right man at the right time, as Don said, to do that. So I know you'll never take a call from me again, John, inviting you to breakfast. And if I had known what this was going to entail, I never would have done this to a friend and asked you to do this job. But you did it with a great sense of mission and purpose. As someone who's grown up in this town, loved that stadium as we all do, had a lot of experiences at that stadium as we all have, and found yourself in a position to do something that will allow future generations of kids to enjoy that very special place. And I thank you on behalf of all of us in the Coliseum and the people of our county for the sacrifice, and it is a sacrifice that you made to do this. And we wish you well in your second retirement, hopefully your final retirement. Thank you, John.